Now that we covered how to talk through the things, get through the laundry list of the items that you've collected, right, over the last several weeks or months or years, why would I be telling you not to be honest with one another? Why me, of all people, the person that specializes in helping couples create marriages that are better and longer lasting and more connected and more intimate, why would I be saying to you, don't be honest? I'm gonna tell you in a minute, but I need you to hear me say this first. I am not saying I want you to lie to one another. I'm not. I don't want you to hear me say, I want you to be deceitful. That's never worked for anybody ever, regardless of whether or not they were married. But, right, deceit, lies, doesn't work in long-term, intimate relationships like the one that you're trying to create with your spouse. When I say, I don't want you to be honest, when I say stop being honest with your spouse, this is what I'm talking about. And if you've ever done this, you're going to see yourself in this scenario. When this happens, it comes out in response to, right? You are having some kind of argument. You're talking about whatever it may be, and then one of you offers and says, "But you're always late to things, and you don't take regard for my time," or you said the meanest things to my parents, or you're such a fill in the blank swear word or whatever for not picking up the kids on time, right, from school or from daycare or whatever, forgetting to do whatever the last important thing that you were supposed to be doing. And then the follow-up is, but I'm just being honest, right? When I catch you, or I point it out, or your spouse points it out and says, really, that this is how we're going to go about this? That's how you want to present this? That's what you want to say, right? Then the response is, I'm just being honest. They can't take honesty, right? And so this is me saying, however that saying goes, honesty is the best, what is it? Honesty is the best policy. Is that how it goes? I don't even know that I disagree with that, right? But the way that you're being honest, if you're on this side over here, where it's mean and it's unkind and it's borderline rude, and there's like words that in a movie they would like bleep out, or on TV they wouldn't be able to say, right? Where it's bordering like all the name calling, all of that, when it's mixed with that, that's the kind of being honest that I am encouraging you against. There's a difference. There's a huge world of difference between being honest over here and being honest and telling the truth to one another, no matter how long you've been married, but being honest in a way that's loving, that's kind, that actually gets the other person to like lean in and want to hear what it is that you have to say and respond in kind. When you're being honest over here, the only thing that happens, right, the moment that like there's a wall that goes up, I don't want to hear it. We get stuck with all we can hear is the mean, the rude, the right, exploitive, like all of that, and we don't even hear we can't even get past the like what is actually the message that you're trying to get across. On the other hand, when you can sit down and you can think through and be kind and be loving and be available and be thoughtful rather than thoughtless, right? And bring up the things to your spouse that you want to bring up, the chances that they will respond in kind, the chances that they will want to have another one of those or 12 more conversations like that with you when you don't live in this but I'm just being honest place, right? I want you to be honest and kind. You can tell the truth to your spouse and do it with love. That's what I'm inviting you to. That's that's the way that they will actually be able to hear it and want to do the thing that they need to do to change, right? Whether it's picking up the kids on time, whether it's being present and being available when your parents come to visit, or whether it's planning the get together or the getaway for your family or just for the two of you, whatever it may be. When you live here, when you are able to see that difference and make a commitment to yourself that, like, I'm no longer, I'm not gonna play this card. I'm not gonna be honest in this way. I'm gonna change the way that I'm being honest with my spouse, because in the end, I actually care. In the end, I actually love this woman, or I love this man. In the end, I want for this to be something that we can come back to if we need to, and where it's not this is a touchy subject that we can no longer talk about, or we can't bring up to one another. I want you to be able to talk about those things and be honest and be open and be vulnerable, be transparent, be welcoming, be inclusive, right? But live it and do it over here. Do it with the caveats that make it impossible then for you to do that game of, I'm just being honest, right? If you've been guilty of this, if you've done this in the past, or you're doing it in the present time, and you know, like, this is kind of my, right, when I am angry, or when I am upset, or when I'm feeling disappointed about something, or when I feel like I drew the short stick again, or whatever, this is what I tend to do. I encourage you to bring that to your spouse. I encourage you to say, hey, I do this? I think I do this. And I'm sorry that I do. I want to change how I am being honest with you. Let's change how we are being honest with one another, so that in the end it actually serves you in the short term, and certainly in the long run. So if this is helpful, and you are looking to see how you can talk about the things that you need to talk about, and when I am saying to people to not talk to one another because emotions may be high, right, when that time is happening, if that's something that you would want to find out more about, and know how to know the difference, when is a good time to talk and when is not a good time to talk, I cover that in my next video. And if that's of interest, I'll see you there.